Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking the Trinity Rose report. Did I get too close? Printer on my way down here. Hey, regarding Nakamura officially signing with NXT, is noted on Wrestling Observer Radio the other day that former IWGP Heavyweight Champion looks to be the first NXT superstar to receive the WWE main event level money. They had to get him something to give him some reason to get over here, so I guess that was it. No word yet on how much time Nakamura will spend down at NXT, but all signs kind of point to a significant run there. That's Joe's been down there for quite a while. Anyway, WWE's paying him big money, so they'll probably have him a good extensive run there. Of course, we'll see him on network, I guess, every so often. The signing's been treated like a major sports story in Japan. February 22nd press conference in Tokyo at the Hard Rock Cafe. That about 100 reporters, autographers, and videographers showed up for the press conference. Former WWE star and announcer Raymond, Raymond Rougeau, the Mountie, and what was the other guy? Rowdy and anyway. He talks about his 1996 boxing match at WWE live event in Montreal against the late Owen Hart. I've got that over on Diamond Dan's Facebook page, by the way. Rougeau talks about how he retired before his only child was born, but his son kept asking when he was going to get to see him in the ring. Well, anyway, Rougeau was never interested in wrestling again, but he said he was a boxing fan. Originally approached Vince McMahon about the idea of boxing Shawn Michaels, though. Owen was suggested, and Rougeau agreed, leading to their boxing match and the main event for the first wrestling event at the Bell Center in Montreal. That's over there. It's kind of grainy quality, but WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair the other day turned 67 years old. And former WWE star, remember Steve Wellington? He was there for a minute or two. Turned 33. Also, this would have been the 45th birthday of, you remember Sean O'Hare? He was down to OVW a lot longer than WWE, but he always came out with Roddy Piper and a long trench coat and just kind of stood there. Job I need. WWE fans named Randy Orton the master of the T-bone suplex in today's, well, it was the other day now. I got 2 days worth of reports here. What a move Wednesday. It's a Twitter poll, I guess. Orton had about 40%, while Becky Lynch and Taz tied with about 21%. Shelton Benjamin, 18%. Brock Lesnar is being advertised for the April 4th post-WrestleMania 32 Raw from Dallas, Texas. So, that's if somebody don't hurt him. And after the Dudley Boys took a shot at Hall of Famer Rikishi during their promo and about the Usos on Raw, Rikishi responded, and they had an exchange back and forth where they just bitched at each other. Roman Reigns not being advertised for, I say not being advertised for any of the weekend live events, but is scheduled for Raw and SmackDown. This could be used to sell the nose surgery WWE claimed he needed after the beating he took from World Heavyweight Champion Triple H on Raw Monday, but he wasn't being advertised even before the past Monday. All right. WWE claims Reigns had the surgery on Tuesday in Tampa, Florida. Chris Annan told WWE website that there was no immediate timetable yet on his return. Said Roman, this is what the doctor said. Roman underwent nasal reconstructive surgery, which consisted of a deviated septum. That's up in here, or airways kind of blocked, and that was fixed and realigned. He also had a turbinate that was also fixed, as well as a reduction of nasal fractures. Reigns will continue to undergo observation as he recuperates, but timetable for his return to action has not been discussed. Now, I had a caller on the info line wanting to know, is he out of WrestleMania? Just remember back when, I think it was Stardust or The Miz, I can't remember, or maybe it was both of them. used to wrestle come out with that plastic thing on their face, and they looked terrible, and they had their nose redone too. But I got a feeling that Reigns, he had his nose busted a while back, maybe a year ago or so, and I think he had some problems, and I think he went and got it done. Now, why he didn't wait till after WrestleMania, I don't know, except this kind of played in to the surgery angle to get his nose, in good shape. But looked like, Triple H busted him up. Little rumor, I haven't went back and watched it yet, and on Raw, you could see it looked like Byron Saxton handing Reigns something. It could have been a little, like a red blood pill or something like that. That may have helped it along, but I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know. I'll have to look and see if I can see Byron doing anything. Current TNA Tag Team Champion Davey Richards underwent reconstructive knee surgery last week to repair an torn ACL. Richards has a crazy work ethics, as noted on Twitter, that he hobbled into math class right after having the surgery and aced the test. All right, he's going to be out of action, by the way, until about mid-August and November or so. And it also looks like the new episode of Edge and Christian that totally reeks of awesomeness will air on the WWE Network each Monday night after Raw, unless something else comes up. I wasn't too excited about their show, but apparently they are. Next, Edge and Christian take a look at looks back at everyone's favorite decade that was all that and a bag of chips, the 90s. WWE Network's going to be airing a 30-minute sneak peek at NXT's Greatest Matches Volume 1 on. It's going to be on DVD and Blu-ray next Thursday. Oh, it's going to be on the network next Thursday. I'll say they usually everything comes out on Tuesdays. I don't see when the date is for the DVD release. Might be already out, come think of it. All right, a few of the recent attendance figures for WWE. Most of these are NXT. NXT in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania was 2,200. In Florida, Crystal River looked like 150. That was the B crew that went over there. There was an A crew and a B crew. Ashbury Park, New Jersey, NXT drew in about 2,500. Albany, New York, a near sellout of 2,000. That's February 20th. Also on that day, Youngstown, Ohio drew a near sellout of 3,700. Doesn't say whether that was a SmackDown or it could have been a Raw. Anyway, February 22nd, Detroit, Michigan, Raw drew about 10,400 fans. SmackDown at the 23rd of February in Indianapolis drew 7,600 fans. And noted before that WWE officials are interested in Humberto Garza III, who works for AAA as Garza Jr., and nephew of WCW star Hector Garza. Word is Garza is going to be working either with Global Cruiserweight Series for WWE, or he's going to be working with upcoming WWE tryout camp. The officials also looking at a few other wrestlers from Mexico, including possibly one of Garza's brothers. And as noted, WWE Payback pay-per-view has been moved from May 1st to, while Extreme Rules pay-per-view will be placed May 22nd, New Jersey. And WWE is going to be returning to the Sumo Hall, Tokyo, Japan on July 1st, July 2nd also. You can get tickets go on sale April 16th if you want to go over and see a wrestling match. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Triple H and Stephanie McMahon attended the Black Sabbath concert last night in Madison Square Garden. I got a picture over on the website too of them posing with Ozzy. I think they are. Either that or they're holding him up. Might want to check that out. By the way, last week's episode of Pawn Stars on the History Channel with the WWE Hall of Fame ring issued to the late Paul Bearer drew about 1.9 million viewers, according to Showbiz Daily. This is up last week from 1.8 million. Advertising for the show was built around a Hall of Famer, Sunny or Tammy Lynn Cinch, but as noticed, she was not on the show, and the ring, that wasn't hers. American Alpha, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan won the Fatal 4 elimination match over the Vaudevillians, Blake and Murphy, Enzo Amore, and Colin Cassidy at Thursday's NXT live event in Orlando. They earned right to face NXT champion, the Rivals, Dash and Dawson, on tonight's live event in Largo. Not done. Hang on. And it appears NXT diva Adrian Reese is suffering from some sort of an arm injury. Former Athena appeared with American Alphas for a meet and greet last night, and in Orlando was wearing a cast on her left arm. Her social media indicates she's not wearing the cast earlier this week, so maybe she just slipped it on because she had a cold wrist. Who knows? Former WWE Tough Enough competitor Chelsea Green broke her collarbone at the beginning of her match in India for the Great Khali's wrestling event this week. She's having surgery later, and she'll be on her back, or she'll be back in her ring. Says in no time. She says that she was airlifted with Khali to the hospital in India for surgery. Last night's, well, that'd be something to be airlifted with Khali in there with you. Last night, in front of 20,000 people, she says, I wrestled for the most amazing crowd. Unfortunately, I broke my collarbone at the beginning of the match. It was a freak accident, and nobody could have seen it coming. After the show, I was airlifted with Khali to the hospital in India where they performed surgery. And she put a picture out on the internet. She says, suffering a fraction of the, there's a picture of the fraction with amazing staff that was taking care of me at the hospital. She had a group shot with the hospital. Could have asked to be surrounded by more amazing, caring people. I love India. Also know there's some speculations among fans within WWE that how Shane McMahon could resume as his executive position with the company, but he's just back for a Hell in a Cell match against Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. So he may be gone after the Monday after. Kind of hope not. New York Post picked up on Shane McMahon's return a possibility of role in management. And unnamed media industry executive who works in wrestling entertainment told the Post Shane's digital, international, and hell of a performer. I never heard anyone who worked with him, but and nobody's ever said a bad word about him. WWE spokesman downplayed the speculation and advised against reading too much into this, noting that Shane is just playing a character on TV shows. So, don't read too much into it, but I just did. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.